1985, a pair of twins, Brielle and Kyrie, were born 12 weeks premature. Now, not yet a month old, on November 12th, Brielle was losing her fight for life. She weighed only 2 pounds at birth, while Kyrie, 3 ounces heavier but much stronger, thrived. Now, her heart rate was soaring, her oxygen level was dropping quickly, and she was turning blue. The nurses tried everything, but nothing worked. They were about to lose her. Now, Nurse Gail Casprian, desperately seeking something to help Brielle, remembered hearing about a technique rarely used then in America called as double bedding or co-bedding. Now, Gail Casprian, the nurse, then decided to put the stronger twin next to her sister in the same incubator, a novel procedure that had never been done before at that time in US. Now, the standard practice at that time was to place the twin babies in separate incubators to reduce the risk of infection. The nurse Casprian put Brielle in the incubator with Kyrie, whom she hadn't seen since birth, and to her amazement and to the amazement of everyone, Brielle showed improvement from the very first moment she touched her sister. Once the twins were together, the baby snuggled up to Kyrie, the stronger twin, and as soon as Kyrie put her arm around her sister, the vital signs, including breathing and heart rate of the weaker twin, instantly stabilized. They called this the rescuing hug. Without the rescuing hug, the weaker twin baby wouldn't have survived. Friends, from the time we are in the womb through our elderly years, touch plays a primary role in our development and physical and mental well-being. Now, new studies on touch continue to show the importance of physical contact in early development, communication, personal relationship, and in fighting disease. Touch is fundamental to the human experience. From the moment we are born to the final days of our lives, touch acts as a central aspect of the human experience, impacting our physical, mental, emotional health, and quite literally shaping the way we go with our lives. Of our 5 senses, our sense of touch is the one we are most likely to take for granted, and yet the one we can least do without. Now, the problem is that we still aren't aware of the extent to which touch can alter our behavioral patterns. Now, according to US-based neuroscientist David Linden, the author of the book Touch, The Science of Hand, Heart and Mind, he says a child can be born blind and deaf and they will grow up just fine with no cognitive impairments. Yet if an infant is deprived of loving social touch for the first 2 years of their life, then all sorts of disasters unfold. Infants are dependent on adults for survival, so when they are robbed of that essential parental care, they become less trusting and develop illness and low self-esteem. Now, during the 1960s, thousands of Romanian children were thrown into orphanages where they grew up starved of human contact. After the Romanian dictator Nicolae Ceausescu's overthrow in 1989, the neurobiologist Mary Carlson and psychiatrist Felton Earls visited the orphans and found them overcome with muteness, blank facial expressions, social withdrawal, and bizarre stereotypic movements. Now, citing the terrible experience of these young children who were deprived of loving touch in Romanian orphanages, Linden described how not only did they have psychological and intellectual difficulties, but their immune system did also not develop properly, nor did their digestive system. In recent years, a wave of studies have documented some incredible emotional and physical health benefits that come from touch. Now, this research is suggesting that touch is truly fundamental to human communication, bonding, and health. A hug, a pat on the back, a high five, and even a friendly handshake is processed by our reward centers in the central nervous system, which is why they can have a powerful impact on the human psyche, making us feel a sense of happiness and joy. Hugging and other forms of non-sexual touching cause your brain to release oxytocins, known as the bonding hormone. Now, this stimulates the release of other feel-good hormones as dopamine and serotonin while reducing the stress hormones. Research suggests that being touched can also lower your heart rate and blood pressure, lessen depression and anxiety, boost your immune system, and even relieve pain. Simply put, being touched boosts your mental and physical wellness. Now, oxytocin is self-perpetuating. It's how your body rewards you for making social connection, and it also makes you more successful at forming and maintaining those connections. Now, studies have shown that oxytocin makes you feel more generous, more empathetic and nurturing, more collaborative and more grateful, all of which helps to make you a good partner, a good parent, a good friend and a good co-worker. In today's digital world, it's easy to forget the importance of face-to-face communication, but you can't shake hands via email or give a hug via a text message. To get a dose of oxytocin, you will have to get up close and personal. Unfortunately, we have witnessed a parallel drop in human contact with the rise of technology and the arrival of COVID-19. Social distancing will have lasting effects on our communication. Handshakes and hugs may transform into maybe just a wave or a bow. Anthony Fauci, the director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, believes that Americans should never shake hands again. Meanwhile, Paul Zak of Claremont Graduate University admits that although it will take time to get back to what was normal, physical touch remains a salient factor to our health and should never be ignored. Whether touch produces a positive or a negative effect is highly dependent on the context in which it occurs. Now, cultural differences can result in touch being construed as a breach of preferred interpersonal distance. At the same time, research states that touch is important for humans when it comes to communicating emotions and maintaining relationships. Friends, touch is the only experience that makes an experience complete. It soothes, it heals, warms, celebrates, enhances growth, and strokes intellectual development as well. It's a complete expression. So get up and go and touch someone's heart today. This doesn't mean that you should turn around and grope your neighbor or invade the personal space of everyone around you. Just remember to always stay within a touch appropriate zone. Review your company's guidelines, and if you are ever unsure about your high five or pat on the back, just keep your hands to yourself.